Hello honey, welcome back. Gosh, you've got nice hands. I bet you've been told that before, haven't you? Yeah, little devil. Today we're going to be talking about the Zastone UV008, another radio with a snappy name from China. I think these may be the least appreciated radio on the market. I liked mine so much, I went out and I bought another one. I think they're absolutely bloody brilliant. But there are a few things that you need to know about them, and there are a few things that might boil your piss, so they might not be for you. Keep watching. This video will run into two parts because, as per the Pink Helmet pledge, no videos longer than 15 minutes. Why do I suggest that you part with around $100 for one of these, or even better, a couple of them? Well, they've got the lot, and at this price point, there's nothing else really touches it. 999 channels, 160,000 contact slots, so you can bring along all of your mates. Proper 2-slot DMR. 10 watts of raw power output. A fairly mediocre, but not bad, 2,500 milliamp hour battery.
But Andy, I've got this Bathing 1701 with OpenGD 77 on it, and it does all of that, and it costs a lot less than $120.
Up. I'm going to ask you to let me finish. You've got airband AM receive. It's got GPS with location sharing. The whole of 2 metres, the whole of 1.25 metres, and get this, 280 to 520. Arsehole to breakfast time. The whole lot, transmit and receive. There's some smelly places there you really shouldn't be. But unlike what you told all the bullies in the school playground, I'm not your daddy. I can't tell you what to do. But if you're into SATCOM and that sort of stuff, then might be worth a poke. And just to really gild the lily, IP67 waterproofing as well. Where the Zastone UV008 really excels, and what sets it apart from all of the other radios in this class, will be of massive interest to you SHTF and emergency comms lads and ladies. There are over 100 reasons why you will probably want one of these. 256 reasons to be exact. We are going to be discussing encrypted radio during this conversation, and phrases like that are a clarion call for the driest of dry lunches.
Oh, my yummy lunch. I look after this foil. I've been reusing it for the last 16 years. Oh, yummy.
All I'm asking you to do is follow my very simple 2-step process. Step 1. Research and understand the law in the country in which you're going to operate. Number 2. Abide by that law. I've already got a sanctimonious helmet. You don't need to be one. I've already got one. Get out of here, sanctimonious helmet. Now I should only have the adults left in the room. Let's have a laugh. Whoa, hold up. I just told you a filthy, dirty lie. We're not about to have fun. We're about to do an unboxing. I'm not really a fan of unboxings, so I need you to do me a solid. Stick a comment below. Do you like watching them, or do you not like watching them? Because there's a lot of breeds out there for me to go and piss in if I don't like making them and you don't like watching them. But if you do like them, I'll make them all day. So stick a comment below and I'll work from there. And talking of vindictive video irritants, look what survived the explosion.
So what's inside?
We got a manual. You know how I feel about manuals. This is clearly all... Oh, no, there's some English at the back there. Either way, we're not going to look at that. Here's the radio, supplied with the battery installed, actually, which is a bit unusual. Let me bring you in a bit, actually. We'll have a closer look. Well, here it is in all its glory. Let's just see if it's got any power in it. That's a good sign. Got an annoying beep. We'll need to note that in a minute. Right, we'll get back to this. Here we go. Got 2 antennas. Now, that is exciting. We'll find out what they're about in a bit. What have we got hiding under here? Well, there's a charger. That's neither here nor there. One of them one-size non-def adapters. Our first bit of landfill. Belt clip. Second bit of landfill. We've got a American-style pair shoe there. I'll see if I've got one British plug on it. That is a gasket.
No, that's the anti-dampness flap. Strange that hasn't come installed, but there you go. Nothing hiding under there, nothing hiding under there. Another bit of landfill, and that's your lot. Right, let's do the exciting bit. Actually, before we start properly, just something to keep in mind for those watching here in Brit-Bomb land. Think of Britain and what springs to mind. Our greatest source of national pride, of course. No, none of this. The only socket worthy of being called G. All of these adapters are awful, but this one really is a novelty one. Prepare for S-tier levels of abominable adapter aggravation and plug fuckerance. I'll check the terms and conditions of your buildings and contents insurance if you're seriously thinking about using this one.
We're going to take a proper close-up look at this in a moment, but there is something I must cover first in all good consciousness. This thing has a little firmware bug which makes my froth snot like nothing on this planet. It's only a small thing, but I must show you this first because you might be like me, take one look at this issue and go, not for me thanks, in which case just bail out the video, that's cool. But let me show you what the issue is. If you're a working adult like me, you haven't got time to piss about in menus all day, so you set your zones up and down on the side keys like I do. Fantastic. Every time you change zone on this handset, it goes back to frequency display. So you put it back into channel name display and you change zone again and it goes back into frequency display. You have to hit the red button every time you change zone. It's a small thing, but it really drives me up the f***. It really makes my piss boil. So with that out of the way, let me give you a good tour of this because otherwise it is a great handset. If you get one of these in your hand, the first thing you will notice is for the price. It really does feel sturdy and it does feel like a premium product. You get on these little cheapy things, and I'm not knocking these, I mean they put these out for 25 quid sometimes, they're absolutely bloody marvellous, I'm not knocking them. But in the hand this feels really, bleh. One of these does feel like something from the next category up, to be honest, almost a Japanese radio. Over the moon with it. And just to show you the difference, I'm going to try something here which I may regret. Yeah, see that's fractured. Oh dear. Oh, feels crunchy. We'll look at that another time. Down the side here you've got the emergency button which will come on to whether you want to use that or not another time. A dual PTT, which is really useful if you want to put a hotspot disconnect on there. You can talk on one and disconnect on the other. That's what I use it for anyway. Two user definable buttons down here. The top's your volume on off. That's just pretty self-explanatory. I've got the anti-dampness flap on here. We'll talk about programming in a second. But the meat and potatoes of what I really want to show you is the screen. The screen on this unit is absolutely brilliant for the money. It's very clear and you can read it in sunlight and it's very logically laid out. The only shortcut I'm aware of on this thing, that if you hit shift and 1 it'll bring up the last locations that share the GPS location with you. You can go in there. I'm not going to because I'm going to dox myself because both of those radios are they're under the desk here. So I don't want to dox myself, I'm not going to show you that, but it will bring that up. You can also go in and actually just get your GPS location if you want to read it off to somebody. I'll just show you this absolutely bog standard SMA connector, the one you've seen 100 times in all of these budget radios. This will get me thrown out the radio magic circle, but this came with two antennas. They're fine. I find unless they are absolute dog slop, HT antennas are HT antennas, which is something I really want to answer for myself. So in a few weeks we're going to have the big HT antenna shootout. Drop me a comment below if you think you'd be interested in that. Without a single affiliate link, I'm going to line them all up and we're going to have a bloody good test. I've had a few positive comments about when I do testing I don't actually show you me hooking it up. I'll carry on with that, I'll just give you the graphs and the numbers. Let's do some low hanging fruit first though. The airband. Yeah, it can do it. Yes, it's very crunchy. Would you want to listen to that unless you had to? No. Let's move on. The battery is advertised at 2,500 milliamp hours. Do you know what? It is precisely that. I haven't even bothered to do a proper graphic for this. I've never seen a battery just match exactly what its specification is. And it will take you about 8 to 9 hours to charge it from wanked flat to ready to rock and roll. And as I've said before, I'll always go up to the second knuckle in my reviews. I opened a battery pack to find out what was inside. Just a couple of LiPo packs, nothing exciting. There may be a way you can get better ones and bulk it up a bit, but that's a discussion for another day.
Thanks, Sex here, Andy from the past. With power, I've got the same issue I had in the last video where my power graphic just will not render no matter what I do, so I've had to come back and drop this in. Right, VHF high, 8.8 watts on both of them. VHF low, about 2.5 watts. Perfect. Personally, I like a smaller low power for reasons, but whatever, that's a fair spread. VHF blew it out the park. 10 watts, both of them on high, and about 2 on low. No case to answer there. Brilliant. And I didn't do the stinky bits because I don't want some helmet to go, oh, I'm going to tell your mum that you used... Not interested, all right, I've just used 270. That's all that matters. Well, unless you're stateside. I had chopped this bit out for time, but I saw a video last night that's just been released as I'm uploading it, so I've put it back in. It's nonsense and it's too long, but it made me chuckle. Let's check out the harmonic response.
Longer sit back and allow communist infiltration, communist indoctrination, communist subversion, and the international communist conspiracy to sap and impurify.
No one gave a shit until there were affiliate links for the tiny essay. You know what's coming.
All of our precious spectral purity.
This is either going to cause you great alarm and distress, or you won't care. It's totally up to you. If you've not seen one of these graphs before, don't worry. The fundamental is normalised to 0 dB, and the goal is for everything else to come under the precious minus 40 dB line. Ready? Let's go. Well, I've seen worse, and I've seen a good deal better too. This probably isn't compliant with whichever regulation you like the most, but as I said, this is either going to make your hand gland twitch, or you're simply not going to care.
Dirty. Very, very dirty. But I still love you. Sorry, 70cm performance next. Oh, and there is one thing. When I was playing back the Zastone UV008 video, I used the term SEMS. I can only apologise, that was absolutely gross. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Andy, what's it like to program? Welcome to another piss steamer. The software's alright, it's the same generic bit of software they all use and modify these Chinese manufacturers. But you cannot, and I can't stress what a piss boiler this is, you can't import CSV files nor export them. You will be starting your code plug from scratch. And that's not the only annoyance with it. And this is a bit of a warning why you shouldn't trust helmets on the internet, including yours truly, because I spread this rumour for about 6 months as well, that the contacts lists do not work on this and that you can't upload them. You can, and they work great. There are only 160,000 slots though, but I'll get back to that in a second. But it does work. You need to click on Write Radio ID and upload your CSV file from Radio ID. So you'll spend 25 minutes uploading it to the radio, go to bother your hotspot, and boom, it doesn't work. You can get the contacts to work, but you must go back to the CSV file, open it, and very strictly order the radio IDs from lowest to highest. If you've got anything in there out of order, it trips it over and you don't get any IDs that show, but it accepts the plug and tells you it's working. I don't know, that's a bit of janky programming. Just a little pro tip, and that's the difference between someone doing a Finley Vale commercial and someone that's lived with this thing for a year telling you about it. And that brings me on to another point. Let me get the helmet. Right, I've started a Patreon because
I don't accept sponsorship. I never will accept any of that buy 2 odd way radios crap, alright? Everything you will ever see on this channel will be bought and paid for by yours truly and purchased anonymously. And this already at 200 subs will not leave me alone about a certain receiver, so keep your eye out for that in the next few weeks when everyone suddenly drops a review. Since I started doing this, I have made this much in AliExpress referral links. And every video I will update you and tell you how much I've earned out of the video. And also, I don't want to get into YouTube monetization stuff because that way lies madness. And I don't want to monetize this channel. One day I may have to. But up to say 50,000 subs for the £2 a month I'll get, it's not worth me making you watch an advert. Because time is the most valuable commodity on the planet. I wouldn't feel right making you watch an advert to watch me talk bollocks. But I'm not handing out the begging bowl. You do get stuff for this, including a bit of software that I've written, which allows you to sort out a nice contacts list for this. It will download it from Radio ID. You sort out the countries you want. It will do all your limiting and sorting and stuff for your 160,000. And you can just upload them and they're guaranteed to work. That's one thing on there. The second thing, there's a video about what to do if you lock yourself out of this and forget your passwords. It's too spicy for YouTube. There's outtakes. Hello, cutie. What pretty eyes you've got. Fucking nonsense that comes out of my head. You don't get this with Dave Kassler. And even for $8 a month, I will put your name on the helmet forever. Take a look if you want, but don't feel you have to. The helmet's on for 2 reasons, because I've been a helmet. One, I lied to you just as I'm editing this up. This is going to go on for longer than 15 minutes, this first part. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. The second reason is because I'm about to show you a video of some testing I did with a mate a few weeks ago. And throughout this short video, I keep saying half a watt. What you need to do is every time you hear me say half a watt in the video you're about to watch, you need to change that in your head to 2 watts. Got it? Yeah, I was having a bit of a fuck-witted day that day, so I've put the helmet on. Alright, let's look at some outdoor testing, and then we'll probably be looking to wrap this up for today.
Okay, I'm going to get buffeted around by the wind a bit here. Very, very quick test. We're on half a watt, and I'm going to try and get my mate, who's about 1/4 mile back over there, all right? Hello, mate, can you hear me?
Yes, mate, loud and clear.
Lovely. How's the audio quality your side? I know we're doing the same handset to the same handset, but does it sound okay? It'll have a bit of that croaky DMR quality, but there's nothing you can do about that.
Croaky DMR quality. Perfectly audible and understandable. Like.
That's good to hear, mate. You're getting blown around by the wind a bit down there. There's a lot of wind noise.
Yes, mate. I'm trying to protect everybody, but there's definitely quite a bit of wind.
Well, wherever you're standing, mate, that's absolutely spot on because you got rid of all of that wind noise.
Yeah, I'm facing with me back into the wind.
Lovely. Okay then, mate, let's try a bit of a tougher test for it, all right? If you're really kind, I'll drive back down the hill and come and find you.
Yep, well, that's all good.
Okay. Righto. Cheers, mate. There we go. Not really much of a test, but half a watt, 1/4 mile outdoors. It's not really pushing it, is it? Let's try something a bit harder. Far tougher tests this time. We switched to 70 centimetres, but we're still on half a watt with the standard aerials, okay? On one end of an industrial estate, and James is over the other end of it, all right? It's tin sheds as far as I can see, so let's see what happens. Hello, James. Can you get me on half a watt on 70 centimetres on DMR?
A few moments later.
Hello, James. Can you hear me on DMR?
Hello.
Lovely. Yes, mate. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Did you want to just try switching to FM UHF low, just so we can see the difference?
Yeah, going to FM UHF low.
Hello, mate. You there on ropey old analog?
Wait, I can't hear you. There is a slight amount of interference, but still loud and clear.
Actually, that's quite impressive on 0.5 watt FM across here. I think I've got a bit more elevation on you, which might help a bit. But yeah, oh, perhaps we'll stick to FM then, because it seems to work absolutely lovely on FM anyway, without any of that messing about.
Yep, I agree, and I've had a look at the map, and it's almost 1/2 mile between us.
That's really, really nice.
Before I go for today, just to say thank you to these legends who are mightier than words can even say. That's Vinny to the K, Yankee Yap, Robert Banks, JP, Samantha Brock, and Rick JF376, amongst many others. Thank you for subscribing. Love you. Wow. Otherwise, we'll bring it to a close for today. Part 2's in a few days. If you want to go on the helmet, you know what to do. Goodbye.